Welcome to the Florida House. Are there any amendments?
On the desk, Mr. Speaker.
Read the First Amendment.
Representative Harris offered the following amendment with title amendment. Bar code 711845. Remove lines 64 through 71 and insert an amendment.
Representative Harris, you're recognized to explain your amendment.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Simply, my amendment ensures that no wrongful death action can be brought against the person who is pregnant, their healthcare providers, or their friends and families in connection with an abortion or other medical treatment. And that is the amendment.
Questions on the amendment? Representative Cross.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Representative Harris, what would be the impact of passing this bill without this amendment?
Representative Harris.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Representative. That's a really good question. So the implications are if you have a friend, say, who was assaulted and became pregnant due to that assault, and you wanted to be there for her and you wanted to drive her to get health care, reproductive health care, the person who got your friend pregnant, regardless of consent, could sue you for driving your friend there and being supportive of her. And we want to just ensure that people can still be there for their friends in a time of need without the fear of having liability on them.
Representative Cross.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Representative Harris. Wanted to talk about the component of the woman who is carrying that child. Doesn't this bill already carve out women from a cause of action, and how would your amendment change this?
Representative Harris.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Again, thank you so much, Representative, for that really good question. Again, we understand that the person who is pregnant is exempt from liability. However, friends and family, doctors, medical providers, anybody that could impact or be a cause of the end of that pregnancy could be liable for civil liabilities. And we want to ensure that somebody who is helping their friend or a family member is exempt from that.
Representative Escamani, do you have a question? No. Oh, sorry. Representative Bartleman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Representative Harris, is there anywhere in the bill that says the mother has to consent for a person who's impregnated, give consent to the person who impregnated her to file the case? Is that in the bill?
Representative Harris.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. No.
Representative Bartleman.
So just a follow-up. So if I'm raped and my rapist wants to contest things and go to court, I can't say no to that. He just gets to do that?
Representative Harris.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. There is no clear definition of parent. So therefore, somebody who has sexually assaulted somebody and got them pregnant could bring a case against a medical provider or a friend, anybody who was involved in the ending of a pregnancy.
Further questions on the amendment? Seeing none, are there amendments to the amendment?
None on the desk, Mr. Speaker.
Is there a substitute amendment?
None on the desk, Mr. Speaker.
Or in debate on the amendment, Representative Escamani.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just want to thank Representative Harris for this amendment. I think what you are doing so eloquently is highlighting the risk associated with this bill if we do not put these amendments in. And despite the Q&A segment, I think it's very clear that we're in an atmosphere where there are individuals that we've seen other states abuse the same type of language to create harm for women who are seeking access to abortion care, or for those who are helping them or providing that care to them in very delicate and sensitive situations. And so I thank you for the amendment.
Further debate on the amendment. Representative Bartleman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to point out that similar bills that have passed in other states have caused problems. For instance, in Texas, the man who impregnated a woman sued her friends who drove her to the clinic for $1 million each. Now, in any lawsuit, a lawsuit can always be frivolous. The doctor could win the lawsuit. But the problem is that you have to go through the litigation process. And so now anyone who impregnates someone can say, oh, Your mom drove you to the hospital after I raped you. I'm going to sue her. Now, whether or not he wins that lawsuit, he may not. But the healthcare provider, that hospital, that mother, they still have to pay money to defend themselves. And I have spent the last 5 years in this chamber hearing everyone talk about frivolous lawsuits against insurance companies, about people getting their roofs for no reason, about car insurance, because the people of Florida are litigious and we're trying to reduce those rates. You're opening up a loophole here. Think about Publix, think about every provider. I walk into a store and I may accidentally just bump a little bit, and then a month later I lose my pregnancy. I could have grounds to go back to Publix and say, that's because of that bump in that aisle. And it doesn't matter that Publix would win the lawsuit. They have to pay for the litigation of that lawsuit. And I'm speaking of the father, not the mother, I apologize. The father says that, or the man who impregnated her. I just feel like this is, if you look, when this bill has been passed in other states, if you look at the cases, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that to the state of Florida. It has to have guardrails, it has to be smart, and this is just opening up Pandora's box, and you're going to impact every company, every medical provider. And for the rural counties in the room, we've already lost OBs, GYNs. No one wants to practice in this state. You open up this, we're going to lose more and more of those doctors. And I have 2 daughters who live in this state that need medical care. So I urge you to vote up on this amendment. Thank you.
Further debate. Representative Miller.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This amendment would give blanket immunity to anyone involved in an abortion, even an illegal one, or one where the physician or unlicensed person was negligent or reckless. Additionally, this amendment prioritizes the surrogate over the mother in a case of gestational surrogacy. It would also protect a surrogate who is negligent from responsibility for her actions. And for that reason, I ask you to vote no on this amendment.
Further debate. Representative Harris, you're recognized to close on your amendment.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. There are already criminal penalties for illegal acts. So this amendment isn't to protect illegal actors. I didn't file this amendment to be smart or to play a game. I filed this amendment because I have a daughter, and she's 28 years old. And being a woman in this world is dangerous. And she can take all the precautions and she can do all the things. She can watch where she is at night. She can carry mace, she can carry pepper spray, she can take 1 million self-defense classes. But the reality is there's a possibility that she could be sexually assaulted and she could become pregnant. And if that happened and she wanted to end that pregnancy, or even if she wanted to continue that pregnancy, but something catastrophic happened, and she needed medical care that would end that pregnancy, I want to make sure that the people she trusts, the people that she loves, and the people that are providing her health care have a pathway to save her life or help her out. That's all this is. This amendment is to protect people like my daughter. That is my intention with this amendment. And I encourage everybody, whether you have a daughter or not, to vote up on this good amendment, this protective amendment. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
All those in favor say yay. Yay. Those opposed, no. No. Show the amendment is not adopted.